mga kaibigan, the ASEAN is a leader in global tourism. The Southeast Asian region has countless attractions to offer all of us. Popular destinations that attract millions of travelers all over the world. But the question is, what can we offer while ensuring that we have sustainable island tourism that will contribute to the continuous socio-economic growth of our region, not just the Philippines, but across the ASEAN region? How can we enhance the two final A's of development? That is activities and attractions to drive truly experience or experiential tourism. How can we engage them with so much to do, so much to see, that they make time and that they stay? Dear guests, please watch this.
Our forum will focus on how business can further elevate the traveling experience of tourists, highlighting the different business opportunities as well as emerging trends to create a wholesome and memorable experience that will keep you coming back again and again and again. So, let us welcome our distinguished guests, the co-founder of Wonderfruit from Thailand, Mr. J. Montonn Jira. The chairman and president of Enchanted Kingdom Incorporated from the Philippines, Mr. Cesar Mario Mamon. The chairman and president of Rajah Travel Corporation from the Philippines, Miss Aileen Clemente. The owner and CEO of Rouges collection from Cambodia, Miss Chenda Clais. The CEO of Green Discovery from Laos, Mr. Inthy Deuansavanh. The founder and director of the Sapa Chow Project from Vietnam, Miss Shu Tan. And the managing director of Malagos Agri-Ventures Corporation from the Philippines, Mr. Rex Victor Puentespina. To facilitate the discussion this afternoon, please welcome celebrity TV host, Mr. Kim Atienza.
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Good afternoon, everyone. Wala tayong bagyong papasok sa Philippine Area of Responsibility. Ang init natin ngayong hapon ay 42 degrees Celsius at meron tayong 80% chance of rain pagdating ng hapon o gabi. I'm also the weatherman. That's why it's very natural for me to do the weather. But before we start, I'd like to call my interveners, people who will help me ask questions and analyze and respond to the discussion. Please welcome the president and co-founder of Malasimbo Music and Arts Festival 2011 to 2018, a member of the Tourism Congress of the Philippines, and president and founder of Puerto Galera, Most Beautiful Bay Incorporated, Mr. Hubert de Aboville. There he is. Malasimbo is very popular among the millennials. The owner and executive chef of Bale Dutung and Downtown Cafe, Chef Claudio Suarez Tayag. The winner of Best Philippine Agent for Taiwan Tourism for 11 consecutive years. Top Producer Awardee for Eva Airways, China Airlines, El Nido Resorts, Midas Hotel, Pacific Cross Insurance, etc. And CEO of Geron Travel and Tours, Ms. Shal Lontok. So we shall start today's discussion. We were meeting backstage and we decided to make it as informal as possible and we'll be as relaxed as possible. So we start with the first question. We start with Montonn, no? Jay. How do you ensure that tourists get the maximum value of experience after they have tried your attraction or activity? And how do we develop an attraction worth coming back to?
Well, for Wonderfruit Festival, we're a little lucky because we curate content.
Why are people
I don't
screaming
know.
whenever you talk?
So
No, Jay is Montonn is actually a recording star in Thailand, and he's a world famous DJ, and he's the organizer of Wonderfruit. Tell us more about Wonderfruit, Jay.
So as I was saying, for our festival, we're able to curate content each year for that edition. And so in terms of a product, we're able to pivot quite a lot, right? So in relation to your question, how do we attract the attendees and how do we keep them there? Keeping them there is a little difficult because our event only happens 4 days a year. But we're able to customize content for the people that attend Wonderfruit each year to make it something that's interesting for the demographic that we've seen in the past. So customizing a unique experience is what brings them back each year, I think, is the main answer.
So Wonderfruit is a wellness festival and not a music festival.
We call it a lifestyle event. It's a lifestyle event based around the ideas of sustainability and eco-consciousness. So trying to promote this underneath the structure of a music and arts festival.
Why would people want to go to Wonderfruit?
I think because it provides a sense of escape is the main thing. Any reason why anybody would travel, we allow an experience in Thailand where people can come and they can spend their time. It's made for people of all ages, so they can bring their children. Pets are allowed, elders are allowed. It runs for 4 days. There's music, there's arts, there's amazing food. And people travel in from all over the world. So it's a social event where people can come and meet others and at the same time enjoy themselves in a festival environment.
Jay, you had a video prepared, no? You have a 1-minute video.
Yes, we do have a video.
And we'd like for the audience to see that. Can we
Please.
play the video? Okay, thank you. I think Wonderfruit is a perfect name for your festival because the fruits in Thailand are wonderful.
Thank you.
Wale. I'd like to call on the next speaker now. Answer the first question, sir. Mr. Cesar Mario Mamon, the Chairman and President of Enchanted Kingdom Incorporated. Sir, let me repeat the first question. How do you create a travel experience unique from multiple... sorry. How do you ensure that tourists get the maximum value of experience after they've tried your attraction or activity? How do you develop an attraction worth coming back to?
I'd like to begin by maybe asking for a show of hands. Who has not been to Enchanted Kingdom? So I guess from that show of hands, the majority of the people around us here have been to the park in at least one of the 24 years that we've been in existence. So I have a treat for the first 20 people who could approach me after. I might have something for you. But in any case, yes, over the past close to 24 years, Enchanted Kingdom has welcomed more than 25 million people. And maybe it's a testimony to how we listen to our market and to our guests that keep us going all throughout these years. When we first conceptualized the project, it was more of to have the Philippines' first world-class themed amusement park. And what we had was an escape from reality. We had 7 theme zones, nothing Filipino. We wanted to be different from reality. But after 20 years of existence, we felt that it's not enough to give that experience of food, merchandise, rides and attractions from a different world. We felt that for us to be able to make it a legacy project for us, we should have something about the Philippines. And that gave birth in 2016 to Aguila the Experience, which is more about the beauty of the country as you fly around the islands and also flying on the wings of an endangered species, which is the Philippine eagle. So by listening to our market and looking at the different markets we have, when we first opened, our children were only 15. Now they have their own children, so we have to adjust to that kind of market, the millennials. And so we've been able to do that, and we're poised to go beyond the 25 years, and there is more to come for Enchanted Kingdom. Thank you.
Sir, you had the video prepared as well. We'd like to show the video.
Yes, if we can. Thank you.
The sun is out. The temperature is up. And the energy is high. Summer is definitely here. Experience more this summer and the rest of 2019 at the country's all-time favorite theme park, because magical experiences equals magical excitement. You'll experience more. Only here where the magic...
Tito, one follow-up question. No? When you go to a theme park abroad, you just want to see it one time and then you don't come back. Why would I want to come back to Enchanted Kingdom?
Well, I think it's not completely true, because when you go to one of the bigger parks abroad, they really have something new every year. For us here, the rule of thumb is you should have something new every year and something major every 2 or 3 years. So we've been able to do that through different rides and attractions, first and foremost, but also through our different shows, our different food and merchandise, etc. So that's a way of being able to attract our guests back to the park and also to attract new guests. And our 24-year existence is a testimony for us being able to do that.
24 years. Thank you very much, sir. We'd like to call on Miss Aileen Clemente, Chairman and President of Rajah Travel Corporation Philippines. Ma'am?
Hello, good afternoon. In answer to your question, I'm kind of in a unique position here because most of them are the actual tourism sites and events. I'm the only one who's a tourism integrator, aggregator, so I make use of these various events and sites. So for me, the way that we have to ensure that it's a good attraction to go to or a good itinerary to take or a good experience is to ensure that each part becomes seamless. And sometimes we underestimate what is seamless. Having delays in airport is a challenge. We have to be also in the policy making, also promote infrastructure development and so on, which have been answered in the first two panels. But also just the availability of the assistance centers, information, making sure that the buses that we ride are fully accredited. All of these things that are invisible to you are things that we take care of. And the product that we develop, this is a reality check because I know sometimes it seems easy to promote a certain area, but also we look at the social costs. We look at the invisible costs. A while ago, there was a discussion on rehabilitation. But why have a rehabilitation when you can have a program management that makes sure that the maintenance of each tourism attraction is already very sound? So these are some of the things and criteria that we look at in making a tourism experience or itinerary. How to keep them there? Again, I mentioned a while ago that it's not just the attraction to the product, also, it cannot just be a carrot. You're dangling a carrot. It makes money because again, the costs to the community may be greater. Meaning, do you have to take care of the garbage? For an example, a cruise ship that comes here with 3,000 passengers gives 8 tons of solid waste. So where do we put that? Is the community ready to accept that? These are the hard facts that I think wasn't discussed early this morning, but these are costs that we need to be aware of, other than just the profit that comes in. So make sure that the product is still there for them to return to.
But people book their tickets online nowadays. Is it still relevant to get a travel agent?
That's a stereotyping of a travel agent. We are more of a transformed agency. And most of the time, when they talk of tourism, even in the forum or in the panels earlier, it's more of just the leisure. But actually, you can break it down to the leisure travel agency, corporate, meetings and events. MICE was mentioned a while ago. Energy, resource, and marine, which is highly specialized. All of these have technology built in it. Those who have not been able to transform and use technology are the ones who are probably going to go away. But that's why we also call ourselves more a travel integrator, aggregator, because we are now more transformed than ever before. So that is just really one sector of the industry.
Thank you very much. Ms. Chenda Clais, owner and CEO of Terres Rouges Collection from Cambodia. Ma'am?
Yes. Good afternoon. For me, to give experience to the tourists is to facilitate at the airport or international entrance. I can share you the experience a few days ago. I hold 2 passports, Cambodian passport and French passport. With French passport, I pass 2 minutes, I get the stamp and I go in. For my colleague, hold Cambodian passport, they stand to curve 2 hours. 2 hours to have visa to go in Macau. And then hold the delegation for 2 hours. So it's a bad experience. But Philippines in Asian country, with Cambodian passport, with Thai passport, it's easy. So it's good, means you have facilitate tourists already in Asian country.
And ma'am, you own 2 boutique hotels, no? And the hotels are famous because they merge the Khmer style and the European style. Tell us more about your hotels, ma'am.
Yes, for my hotel, they have very good experience when they stay in Rouges Hotel because we are unique. We are Cambodian. We show the tourists, we share the tourists, the old style, antique. We decorate our hotel with furniture that you cannot find everywhere or anywhere. That is a good experience for the tourists. And keep tourists coming also because of hospitality. When they stay in my hotel, they feel as they are home. They don't feel as a hotel, 500 rooms that the guests cannot meet each other. That's the point. Then and also when they come to my hotel, they can have food also, Khmer food. We sell Khmer food, of course, we sell European food, we sell Thai food, Asian food, Chinese, but we promote local food. And then the foreigner can eat, and then they say, oh, Terres has a very good food. They remember. And then I heard that the feedback from the guests. So it's our point here.
And how's the peace and order situation in Cambodia?
Okay, for the situation in Cambodia, when we are talking Cambodia, they all are most of the guests, they say that, oh, don't go to Cambodia. Because the Cambodia is war, it's Khmer Rouge, it's a man, don't go, very dangerous. No, forget that. This was in the past. This is
That was in a movie, in the Killing
It's a movie,
Fields.
Killing Fields. You can watch Killing Field movie, but don't think that Cambodia is now the situation. It changed now. We are smiling, we are welcome. So welcome all the guests. So please come and visit our country.
Thank you. Maraming salamat. Before we move on, we'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Chief Legal Counsel of the President, Attorney Salvador Panelo, right here in front. Sir, good afternoon po. You're my idol in sartorial elegance. So we'd like to, we're moving on now. We'd like to call on Mr. Inthy Deuansavanh, CEO of Green Discovery Laos. Sir?
Yes. Actually, a few years ago, when I met a lot of friends among ASEAN or other countries, I was not really confident what we have in Laos. I said, why we have so many jungle in Laos? We don't have high-rise building. If we look from the map, there are so many mountains in Laos. We don't have beach. We are landlocked. So until I start my traveling a few years ago, I realized how beautiful my country is. Yes, of course, we have a lot of forests. We have nearly 30 national parks, which is untouched. So many rivers. And the local people, people in Laos, we have only 7 million people. So it's, compared to the land that we have, is huge. And people are still very slow, laid back. We have a lot of joke from the neighboring country that Lao people don't rush. I was shy a bit, but now I feel so confident because it's we have to rush for. That's what tourism is about. And actually, to make the tourism interesting, interactive, I think to providing the real experience is very important. In my company now, we're working a lot with the local people, and we introduce the tourists into a jungle, to a nature, to a waterfall, to the cave. And of course, that's not only the beauty of that, but the local people life, the lifestyle, the authentic experience is very important.
When you say experience, what exactly do they do when they visit your place?
There are many, according to the landscape or according to the location where you are. If you're talking about the northern part of Laos, we have our company, we are providing like homestay experience that you can able to stay, doing trekking to the forest, and then homestay with the tribe or the minority people, learning how they cook, eating their food, and learning about the history, how they live their life and so on. If you're traveling a little bit down, of course in Laos we have also the place called World Heritage. If you travel a bit to the south, it's like amazing cave. That of course most of the product we decide, we try to make sure that it's original is authentic. So they have to experience the food. They have to really experience the local people. It's not something that we're building up. It's original. That's what we do. And of course, I mean, Laos is quite popular in terms of friendly people, which I hear so many things. When I talk to tourists, what they're impressed the most when they come to Laos is the people. And of course, nature, but always coming up with people. And I think people is very, very important to bring the tourists back, because the interaction of people and the tourists. Because, of course, if you go to see one beautiful place, maybe you just go there taking photo and that's it. Maybe you not come back because you've been there, done that. But if you have good interaction with people, when you know someone, I have few of my tourists that we become friends and they keep come and visiting us maybe 6-7 times already.
You seem to be very fit. Do you have to be fit to go to your establishment?
Not really. I think we have many variety. We have many options. We have some very soft adventure, or like it's just like sightseeing experience, and to the extremely adventure from our company. So we offer quite a variety of experience.
Okay, thank you, sir. Ms. Shu Tan, founder and director of the Sapa O Chao project from Vietnam.
Good afternoon, everyone. So happy for me to be attend here. How to be experienced, or how to attract tourists, and how to be good tourists, and how to be attracted with the local people. I was come from in the background, with a very poor background from minority. When I was very young, in 12 years old, selling things on the street. Step by step, and I create a company, a travel agency company. We are social enterprise, and the first company run by minority in Vietnam, in the North Vietnam. So to create the best experience and also value, also attracts people, we create many things. We think the local people is the key, the community is the key. That if they have attracts with the tourists, have good experience by both sides, by the tourism and the local people. And we work close to them. Sapa O Chao, we are very proud that we create an opportunity for the local people learning English, and from there we have good experience to cooperate with the tourists and to share the right knowledge from the community to tourists. From there, they can be friends. From there, they can share knowledge. And we know that many tourists, they come back after they had great experience in contact with the local people. Because if we are doing tourism, or we call the sustainable tourism, the local people is the key. If they had the tourists, they have good experience with the local people, they have a trust, they can be friends, they can learn the best experience from the local people, they might come back and they want to show and share with their other friends. So what we are doing is we create homestay that where the local people own and run by the local people. So the tourists, when they come to there, they experience about the culture, buying food, about handicraft, they showing the technique of the local people. And the local people present the culture to tourists. And sometimes the tourists also acting inside the culture way, like farmer thing, walking, batik thing. So they are involved as a friend, as a family. They might just come for a couple of days, but many tourists that they stay 1 week or 2 weeks, or they also come and they want to stay longer, be as a volunteer in the community as well. So Sapa O Chao, we create homestay, help the local people to create their own homestay, help the community, the local people learning English so they communicate, basic English, so they can communicate with tourists. From there, even like in our place in Sapa area, we have 5 different minorities. Each minority, they speak different. And we know that tourists and the local people is important. Of course, responsible tourism had to can by the grant of the community to share the best experience. From there, we can create a value experience, attract people to stay longer. And why? How? To development that we can have more job, we can learn new things, but at the same time, we're proud who we are in our community. Many communities, they went out from the sea or went out to the city, they come back because they know how much they are proud about their community, about their culture. I am one of the minority in the north of Vietnam, and many people do not proud who they are, but I see my country, in my hometown, every day we have 4 seasons. They are changed. And we have 4 seasons, has changed a lot. From the rice terrace, from how the people, how the festival, it's changed a lot, it attacked a lot of people. But if we provide the job for the community, we provide, and we know the technique of the minority, we know technique of the local people, will be attacked a lot of tourism. And they want to involve, they want to have more experience. If they have great experience, they will show their friends, they show other tourists, along the journey where they are travel. So that's the value of the money contribute to the community, value of the knowledge that tourists learn from the local. Yes.
Thank you very much. So it's a symbiotic experience. Community and then tourist community. So both learn from each other. My friend, Mr. Rex Victor Puentespina, Managing Director of Malagos Agri-Ventures Corporation, Davao. Rex?
Yes, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. I am a second-generation farmer and at the same time a chocolate maker of...
Puentespina Farm.
O sige, panoorin na muna natin. Okay.
Ang Puentespina Farm ay nag-start siyang nagpakilala sa mundo ng kakao na bilong siya sa top 50 best beans in the world. Yung technology na ginagamit ng Puentespina Farm sa pag-alaga ng kakao ay tinuro lang naman din sa amin. So, sinishare din namin yun sa magitan mo na program na lahat ng tinuro sa amin ay ituturo din namin sa kagaya din namin na farmer. Para kung ano yung na-receive namin, hindi naman siguro lahat, pero may share din namin yung anong success na naman. So, 5 years from now, magkikita namin na siguro ang Philippines ay marami ng quality na beans na hindi lang sa Puentespina Farms, hindi sa halos lahat ng farmer sa Philippines.
Okay, Rex, bakit masarap ang Malagos chocolate kung ikukumpara sa ibang chocolate?
Oh, masarap din naman yung ibang chocolates. No? Why?
What's so special
Because of
about
the terroir.
The terroir.
Because of the terroir.
So parang wine pala yan, terroir.
Yeah, parang wine na parang it's in the soil, it's in the rainfall, and it's in the people, the farmers that take care of the cacao that gives, and then of course the fermentation of the cacao beans that we do in our farm. So that's what makes a chocolate unique. And of course, it's single origin. So the beans are coming from just one area in our farm in about 20-kilometer radius around Malagos. Yeah. So I've said earlier, I'm a second-generation farmer and a chocolate maker for Malagos Chocolate. We have been into agriculture for the past 50 years. And our company, Malagos Agri-Ventures, is a part of a family-owned group of businesses that have been working with nature. So we construct water wells. We also we raise goats in our farm to produce cheese. And then we grow cut flowers. And we run a nature-themed resort, an accredited agri-tourism site that houses the Malagos Chocolate Museum, all within our hometown in Davao, in Mindanao Island, the island of Mindanao. Our cacao farm is now designated heirloom cacao producer by the Fine Chocolate Industry Association in the United States. This is the first for the Philippines. This designation helps put the Philippines on the chocolate map of the world as a producer of fine flavored cacao. So as you know, the Philippines is not really known for fine cacao. This is the reason why we open up our cacao farm to the public and built the first chocolate museum in the country so we can educate visitors on how we make specialty chocolate. We now have what we call a tree-to-bar experience. It's an educational tour that allows visitors to go around the farm, get to taste, get to smell, get to touch the cacao, or get a selfie with the farmers, and experience how chocolates are made from tree to bar. So far, this unique experience has been getting very good reviews from tourists. So I guess key word here is experiential. They have to experience the tour or the place so that they will be coming back to wherever the tourist site is.
And aside from chocolate, you also have cheese, Malagos cheese, and other products that are produced by your people in the farm.
Yes, we produce from our goat milk. We produce our cheeses, French cheese, and also aged cheeses. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Rex.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask the interveners if you have any questions. The floor is yours.
Yeah, good afternoon, and thank you for this very interesting panelists here. You guys have something in common. Practically all of you mentioned that the key here is people. Our people, whether in Laos, whether in Vietnam, whether in the Philippines, the key of success is people. I think in the Philippines we are really God blessed because Filipinos smile all the time. We are welcoming tourists from all around the world, and I think it's a fantastic experience for tourists from all around the world to come to the Philippines. But this, again, it's God-given, I would say. So we are not working for that. It's here, it's with us. Now, my question to each of you is how important is logistic and transportation for you here to come to the Philippines? I can talk about Cesar. Cesar is very clever because he puts his Enchanted Kingdom just along the highway. So no doubt this was a clever move. I would like to know from Aileen, you are working all around the Philippines, how transportation and logistic is affecting your business. And last, not to make it too long, you guys introduced me with Malasimbo Music and Art Festival, which we were doing in Mindoro, Puerto Galera. Wow, what a challenge to bring 5,000 people from Manila to Puerto Galera. So I want to know if all of you have the same concern that I have. Problem in the Philippines we have is logistic and transportation. Thank you.
Who'd like to answer? We have a few seconds to answer, about 20 seconds each.
Yeah, I guess really the location of where we place Enchanted Kingdom was first and foremost, accessibility was number one. That's why we located it where we are now. And through the years, the South Luzon Expressway has been improved, and it has improved the travel time. Now what we're working on with our future plans is to have our own exit to the freeway so that we can be able to accommodate an increase in attendance from 2 million to double that in the coming years. Thank you.
As I mentioned a while ago, seamless travel really needs that. I think it was tackled in the earlier panels how logistics transportation plays a major role. But again, the invisible cost is that if we don't get them there is no tourism product that will be out there. So that is really very key. And I think it was mentioned a while ago that we hope that DOTR was here today because just to mention the importance of transport and logistics is a key. Accreditation of these transport is a key. Safety and security is a key. All of these are very much part of making a successful tourism product. But having said that, being proactive about it, there are tourism master plan templates already, and we hope that each LGU, each NGA can also play a very crucial role and know the importance of these in making a good map for the rest of your community.
Thank you. Chel?
Yes, hi. Before anything else, we have a very good panel. Welcome. And of course, a very good host, Kuya Kim. Mabuhay, as we say here in the Philippines. Of course, everyone here, whether as reactors and as panelists, we all highly depend on inbound tourists. I just probably would direct this question first and foremost to Jay, okay? And it's gonna be a tough one. So I'm gonna put in some numbers here. If I'm not mistaken, inbound tourists for Philippines, more or less 7 million last year, okay? However, for Thailand, 38 million inbound tourists last year. So the question is really simple and difficult at the same time. I personally believe that authenticity and unique experience is something that really is needed in tourism right now, something that you do, Jay. What is it that us here in the Philippines can learn from people in Thailand with their tourism, or with your tourism rather?
I think opening it up to where you focus in on the uniqueness of what you have here in the Philippines. Like earlier panels had mentioned, there's a lot of untapped resources and gold mines within all the different regions of the Philippines. Now, finding something that really focuses in on and shines a light on those unique elements is going to open up something that's different. I think a lot of countries within ASEAN right now are very tied up with imitating the West in some ways. We try to create experiences and events and enterprises that are similar to the West, but we're not differentiating ourselves. I think what I'm trying to say is we may not need to create another Las Vegas over here because they can always go to Las Vegas. We want to create something that's our own in Asia so that it stands out from anything that the West has. And that idea is what we've sort of found with the festival that we run, is it's not like anything else that's out there and it's unique. So for these ideas and these gold mines that we find within the Filipino islands, we need to find a way to shine a light on it and make it something that's only available here and it has its own identity separate from everything else.
Thank you, Jay. Chenda, would you like to answer that question? I think that question applies to Cambodia as well.
I have example from Cambodia. Okay, yes. For Cambodia, when we're talking about the infrastructure, we are not good. We don't have direct flight. But recently, we have Philippines Airlines. It's a really good and best solution. I hope Cambodian tourists will come to visit Philippines very, very soon because direct flight. So, other country, Cambodian tourists cannot go far because holding Cambodian passport is really difficult to get visa. And talking about why tourists come to visit Cambodia, because Cambodia is a very small country in the middle of Thailand, Laos, Vietnam. And the people know only the three countries. Why they come to Cambodia? Because it's story also. We talk about story. Historic of the people of one country is very, very important. You have to mention that. So it's identity also of Cambodia. And then we have to show the rich culture of your country also. So focus about culture and about also green ecosystem. Think about that. So you will keeping and work a lot more in the tourism. For example, we are a small country and we have almost 8 million tourists to visit Cambodia. And our government expect more than 10 million of tourists come visit Cambodia for the next year. So,
thank you. Claude?
I don't really have a question, but it's more of an observation that probably we can apply to Philippine tourism. Like what Mr. J said, Ms. Chenda, and Inthy. It's about the authenticity of what they have to offer. Meaning, specifically of their locality. So what I'm saying now is instead of like promoting a Las Vegas type of thing, why don't we promote our own? And that's what I've been advocating for the past, 30 years? Local cuisine. I'm coming from the food sector. So what I've been promoting is Filipino cuisine. And as Mr. J said, who is it? About the story, Ms. Chenda. I have this, you can say, saying to heart. I'll say it first in Filipino because it's more effective with our words. Ang pagkaing walang kwento, walang kwenta. Food that has no story has no value. And it's the same thing for travel, yes. So let's be true to ourselves. Follow their example of promoting. And when we talk about Filipino, there's no such thing as Filipino cuisine. It's the regional Filipino cuisine. Let every region in the Philippines promote their own thing. And you will attract tourists for your food, for your destinations. Yeah.
If I may just react, I totally agree, no, Kuya Kim, because everyone here has pointed out authenticity, unique experience, and story and narrative. Para lang alam ng marami, a lot of the tourists are skipping actually Metro Manila. They go direct to our islands because that's something unique that we truly have. Kapag ikaw ay European or American, syempre ang hinahanap mo is yung init ng isang island. Yung tubig natin mainit, sa kanila beach pero malamig, no? But they tend to skip Manila because they feel that, oh, this is what our city also has. So the identity that you mentioned, whether it's homestaying to get that authentic feel of the local people, or farm tours, the forest packages that you probably offer, it's all part and parcel. And I think that's what's missing, and that I hope everyone here in the tourism industry, yung mga nagbabalak pumasok, is to be authentic. Whether you're Filipino, Cambodian, as you mentioned, Jay, as a Thailand, you know, the experience, to keep it there. Not emulating other people, maybe copying their model in such a way of what they're successful with, but sticking to ano ba ang Pinoy? Ano ba ang sariling atin na pwede natin ipagmalaki rin? That's all.
I will just add on this. If I remember a few years ago, Secretary of Agriculture, she developed this concept of going to the province, and each province should develop their own food and promote it each his own, you know. And I think in the Philippines we have, I don't know how many thousands of different adobo. So adobo is super masarap. In Malasimbo we did the dabo adobo, which was so successful. So yes, indeed, food is a very, very good way to put the country together. Thank you.
Okay, maraming salamat. Thank you very much. Guys, time flies when you're having fun. We're out of time. It's been an hour already. So we thank you. It was such an honor, and we learned so much from our guests, and we hope that you visit the Philippines again. We learned so much from you. Maraming salamat. Palakpakan natin. Let's all give a big round of applause to our guests who flew in from ASEAN countries and Mindanao. We'd like to call on stage as well Mr. Joey Concepcion for photo ops. And Secretary Sal Panelo. Mr. Tony Fernandez.